Coming to you from the Nut House Studios, presented by Gone Squirrel Radio Show. This is the Soapbox Smorgasbord Podcast with your hosts Jason and Ryan. So kick back and enjoy the show.
Let me tell you something, brother. You're in for a special edition. Squirrale Royale.
Yeah!
You got J-L-P.
A macho America, Ryno Rage, yeah.
And Todd the Bod.
The champ that makes the ring rats damp. The crowd god, Todd the Bod, yeah.
So, on this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming Royal Rumble for all of our wrestling nerd friends. And we got this cool little WWF, World Wrestling Federation, get the F out, WWE, whatever you want to call it, versus the WWF, the World Wildlife Foundation. So we're going to start with talking a little bit about the upcoming Royal Rumble.
I'll pause that real quick. Todd, what's that? You're having problems hearing? Hold on, let me check your audio.
Got it?
Hold on a second. You able to hear Todd now? Good? How about you? How about the audience?
You got it? Okay, they can hear it. All right. Yeah.
Cream of the crop, yeah.
Now,
Cup of coffee in the big time.
so we're going to first talk about, obviously, what's going to be the main event outside of the Men's Royal Rumble, and that is the Fatal 4-Way for the Universal title, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles versus LA Knight versus Orton. I don't know, who do you got?
L.A. Knight. Let me talk to you.
I really like LA Knight.
Yeah.
I feel like Styles and Orton, they're just kind of, they're always going to be main event level. LA Knight has skyrocketed from basically a step on to main event level, and I still gotta go, even though it's starting to get a little dry, I still gotta go Reigns. I think that they're going to go past
the bloodline.
Yep. I still think that they're going to have him pass at least Hogan.
Well, do you think he'll go past WrestleMania as a champ still?
I think so. I think, if I remember right, Survivor Series puts him right around beating Hogan's record, and which would only put, I believe, Bob Backlund and Bruno Sammartino ahead of him as far as the record.
Well, let me tell you something, Roman Reigns. If you think that you're going to surpass my title reign, dude.
So, yeah. I think it's going to be a good match. I think I hope the Bloodline doesn't get involved. But
come on, they're heels, of course.
We know they will. But yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Me too. That's going to be a fun one.
Next up is the U.S. title match, and that is KO, Kevin Owens, the challenger.
He won the contender, number one contenders tournament for the U.S. title. He won that.
Now, he is wrestling injured. He does have, I believe, it's a legitimate hand injury.
Yeah, but they played it into the story, which I like.
Yep, and he will be fighting Logan Paul, the Maverick.
The Maverick, but he's also calling himself Prime Time because of the Prime Energy drink.
I'm a big fan of Logan Paul. He's one of the few wrestlers few celebrities that they brought in that can actually go. I think Pat McAfee's up there with him. I think Bad Bunny.
But if I was in the crowd, I would never cheer him. Fans need to stop doing that. I've always loved the heels too, but you do make them do their job. Yep. You boo them out of the building.
I like KO, but I'm almost thinking Logan holds on to this. But
I'm going to tell you why I would like KO more. And I realize, even though I've seen a few Canadian destroyers in WWE, they have a thing where you can't drop people on their heads. Well, if it's done by a professional, like Undertaker would pile drive people, but it was obviously the Tombstone. KO on the indie circuit was Kevin Steen.
And
he would do the package pile driver. Man, I would rather him do that than the stunner.
Yep.
If he does that, I would like him more.
We saw him live a couple times here in Lawrence, and he's great.
Macho hair.
Yeah, he actually had some. Did we see him against Adam Pearce? I know they faced each other. I know I've seen that match. I just can't remember.
Christopher Daniels and a lot of those guys. I've only seen Samoa Joe as far as like during that time.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor was really people were digging deep into the indie.
Oh yeah.
Scene.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be another good match. Kevin Owens can go, and Logan Paul has shown that he belongs in a wrestling ring. Kind of the elephant in the room for the Royal Rumble is Seth Rollins. He had some feuds starting up, and they were looking really good. He had a little bit going on with CM Punk. He had a little bit going on with Shinsuke Nakamura. And
injured his MCL, right?
And he injured his MCL. I hope that it's a storyline.
I don't know.
Everything that I'm seeing, it's not. Yeah. So it sounds like that is possibly going to be what the Men's Royal Rumble is about.
He legit got taken out for a while because of that same injury. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, he could have aggravated it again.
It's not hard to re-injure those.
Yeah, especially what he does for a living. And plus, he does all kinds of high-flying stuff. Your legs are stabilizers.
I hope it's storyline, but if not, it looks like the Men's Royal Rumble will be for the vacant title. Speaking of the Men's Royal Rumble, there's a lot of favorites. The returning CM Punk is obviously one of them. Cody Rhodes is another. Damian Priest is on a hot streak. Shinsuke.
If Rollins is not able to defend the title, and if it is to the point where medically he's not cleared, they vacate the title and then make it available to the winner of the Royal Rumble. That, my friends, would be awesome. Yeah.
So, who's kind of who you think is odds-on favorite to win
in the Rumble?
Yeah.
There is a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
I could see, because Cody won last year, and it was a major pop. You could feel it through the TV screen. There is a lot of dynamics here, and one thing I like that WWE has finally figured out is be quiet.
The internet wrestling pages have ruined wrestling recently, yes. And it's kind of nice to not know what's going to happen. I mean, there's always going to be whispers. We had an inkling that CM Punk was coming back just because he dropped hints, and WWE dropped some hints. But the problem that we've had is just surprises being completely ruined the past several years.
And it's because of the internet. I mean, that's part of the pros and cons of the internet is spoilers and all that garbage. Because we got the Dave Meltzers of the world.
Yep. But my odds-on favorite, just because of what he's been doing recently, I really like his work as Shinsuke. Yeah, me too. I think that he was going to be one of the final few before this injury with Seth Rollins, but I think now if it is going to be for the title, I like Shinsuke.
I like that he speaks in Japanese, and it's very reminds me of Mr. Fuji in a lot of ways, like really the devious one is what they used to call Mr. Fuji, and he just got this. And I like how they put the package in, like with like the old Japanese style cartoons involved with his promos. Killer. It reminds me of Fist of the North Star and Akira and Ninja Scroll, one of my favorites.
I think, in my opinion, I don't think that the Royal Rumble, like I said, if this is for the title, I don't think the Royal Rumble, I think CM Punk will eventually get his hands on it. And I think because of the hype around Cody Rhodes, I think the honest best time to put it on him would either be at Mania or at SummerSlam. I think the Royal Rumble is a big event, but I don't think it's Cody Rhodes finishing the story big.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of burnt out on this little finish in the story. It's getting a little bit lame.
I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go on a short heel run before the story's
the crowd
finished.
Loves him, especially like the younger generation, very young generation. He's got a nice fan base. Here's the thing. I respect the Rhodes family. I was never a big Dusty Rhodes fan. He was all right, especially back in I knew him more from the WWF era.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked his matches. They were very entertaining. That was at the tail end of his career.
Very charismatic.
But you know what's wild is I love Dusty more sorry, my reading glasses are getting in the way. I like Dusty Rhodes more when he went over to ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling, and he feuded with the king of old school, Steve Corino.
Yep.
And they had some banger bloody matches. Loved him. That's when I liked him.
Yep.
That's when because man, shout out to Jack Victory.
Yeah. I could see Cody doing it, but I feel like I feel like he needs a heel run and then a return back to a face turn before he does it.
But my favorite Rhodes is Goldust.
So the last match so far that has been announced, obviously, for the Rumble is the Women's Royal Rumble. It's kind of a toss-up. I feel like they're positioning either Nia Jax or Becky to be
face
the winner.
Rhea Ripley,
yeah.
Whatever.
But my dark horse, who I feel is kind of on a revenge tour, and I feel like a face turn for her is coming real soon, is Bayley.
Yeah.
Damage Control they've been hinting at a turn on Bayley.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my dark horse, but also she's not only just a dark horse, but she's completely capable of doing it.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Now, I actually kind of witnessed her turn heel last night when you wanted Arthur Bryant's and she wanted Go Chicka Go. That's not the wrong one. That's the wrong one.
Bayley, my wife.
See, I'm a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking about Bayley, my wife.
I'm a little bit slow. Sorry.
But
hello, McFly. Oh, the color. Oh.
But, anyways.
Ooh. Hold on a second. Let me gather myself. I'm good. It's reset.
Yep. But yeah, so that's kind of what we have so far for the Rumble. Like I said, I'm sure that there's more matches to be announced. They haven't announced anything with the Intercontinental title, which, speaking of that, Gunther is another. I didn't even think about that. He's definitely a dark horse.
What match is he in?
He's in the Rumble. They haven't announced him in another match. The tag titles haven't announced.
What if he ends up with Ludwig Kaiser? Is Ludwig Kaiser going to think more about winning the Rumble so he can get a title shot? Because jealousy is a big thing with heels, right?
Yep.
So
the luster. It was his fault. He had eyes for Elizabeth.
Another thing that's popular with the Rumble is surprise entrance. Men's Rumble. There's a handful of them that.
What if Dustin Rhodes is a surprise?
See, he's still under contract with AEW.
How long though?
I don't know. Ricky Starks from AEW has been one that's been mentioned.
MJF, is he still under contract?
I don't know. I know Okada from New Japan.
I'm not a big old NJPW mark.
Yeah.
So,
I know that he's been listed as surprise entrant. I know that so has, or not as a surprise, but as a possible. Someone else that's name has been tossed around is Zack Ryder or Matt Cardona, which is the husband of
What about Madman Pondo? Necro Butcher?
Nah.
No?
Chelsea Green is her husband.
Yeah. Matt
So
Cardona, man.
those have been listed. Ken Shamrock is rumored to return under a Legends. He's got a Legends contract that he just
and he
signed.
can still go because when he was in TNA, which TNA made a well, it was Impact, but now it's TNA again, which that's where Dolph Ziggler is now. So
on the men's side, there's always infinite possibilities. I mean, there's and there is on the women's side too. On the women's side, Trish Stratus is one that obviously pops up. So is Nikki Bella, Stacy Keibler. I mean, there's several. A lot of times with the women's returnees, it's just kind of a one-off thing. They don't really stick around. I think Trish Stratus and Lita recently were kind of
what about Katie
exceptions. Vick?
Maybe Undertaker.
Todd, is your girlfriend going to be there?
Yeah, is Katie Vick going to be there? That's one of your favorite rats.
But, all right, now that we've kind of covered the Rumble,
we're
going to get to our main event.
Yeah.
Which is the WWF versus WWF, and we've got some different colored markers over here. I'm good with just a black one. There's your different colored markers.
Different colored markers.
Ryan has issue seen. So.
I do. Terrible, especially these really great shades on.
All right. So Todd, I'll let you move that out of the way.
I gotta move him over.
Here. Push it down. We can slide it over.
Oh, I got you. Let's do like so.
Okay.
Work smarter, not harder.
All right. Now, we're not necessarily going off of who would win in a battle to the death. This is kind of going to be...
What color are you doing on that side?
I'll be all right.
You're going straight. You're doing all black.
Yeah.
I get messed up, man. So I'm going to go with no red on the second round.
Okay. So, the first one over here is Steve Austin versus a rattlesnake. Steve Austin, as you don't know, was
get over here
known as
fatality
as the Texas Rattlesnake, and one of the top attitude WWF stars versus a rattlesnake.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's good.
Okay. Man, I'm a big Austin fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I gotta go Austin.
You want me to stop a mud in Vince McMahon's ass? Give me hell yeah.
Okay. What do you got?
You got The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus the Brahma Bull. That's his first tattoo. Now he's got a collage of really terrible tattoos. But anyways, hey, to each his own. I'm going with The Rock.
Mm-hmm. So there was
wait a minute.
Here, try the green. Take the green.
I'm going green.
Okay.
Green Machine, The Rock.
So the next one we have female wrestler the Cat versus an actual cat. She wasn't entertaining. She was kind of sloppy. It was kind of before this was. So she was kind of from the era where women wrestlers weren't really trained. They were just basically.
She did this though.
Yeah.
On the Rumble during the Rumble, they had a baby oil match, and she untucked. Legit. Not even with tassels.
I'm a cat person though. I gotta go Cats.
Yeah, go Cats.
Yep.
Go Cats. That goes out to you felines. Hey, by the way, before we even progress, we didn't even talk about why the World Wrestling Federation, with a little scribble IE, is against the World Wildlife Foundation.
So,
with a brief summary,
WWF used to be World Wrestling Federation, WWE used to be the WWF, and then in 2002, the World Wildlife Foundation sued them because of their use. I believe it was over in the UK.
Yeah.
Of the WWF moniker.
Yep.
And
they didn't want to be associated with wrestling.
So WWF did this whole get the F out thing and transformed into WWE. And, you know, a lot of people thought it was going to destroy them, but they wrote it out and they turned it into a huge
T-shirt
gimmick and T-shirt and everything.
I wish I had that T-shirt. That's how much it resonates with me.
So, to be honest, I think it's one of the biggest things and best things to happen to WWE.
Well, as far as when they went public, when you go public with the stock market stuff, there's more money involved. Yep. Okay. All right. Now we're good. Let's roll. Okay. We got EC Dubs. Well, he was in WCW. He was in ECW, of course.
TNA,
Quote the Raven, Nevermore, the Raven's Nest, Raven's Flock, versus an actual crow.
Crows are kind of cool, but
caw, that's all they do.
I gotta go Raven. Raven was cool.
Let me give you a little thing on crows. Did you know, in certain like Japan, places like that, they'll actually take like nuts, like real hard ones like this, and they'll take them out in traffic, put them in traffic, so the car will run it over, so they can break the nuts because they can't get into it.
I believe some breeds of crow or some types of crows can actually learn to talk as well.
See, I'm not just putting over wrestling. Yep. I'm putting over the animals too.
Yep.
And tennis shoes. Okay, so we're going with Raven.
Yep.
Okay. So good old Scott Levy.
The gobbledygooker versus an actual turkey. Look, I had a pet turkey. They're kind of cool.
They go in the trash can.
Gobbledygooker was a really obscure gimmick.
You know my answer already.
Oh, you want to go gobbledy?
Oh, by far.
Gooker.
Survivor Series 92, yep. Correct? And The Undertaker debuted that same Survivor Series. I remember the crowd booed it.
Oh, yeah.
So good, dude. But you know what? He came out. Mattel made an actual gobbledygooker Survivor Series special figure with the original Undertaker figure. Man, it's worth like over $200. It's
cool.
Legit. I mean, these guys here are worth a lot too. This guy here, the Honky Tonk Man, that's a Black Series. He signed it twice. I met him. He signed the cummerbund and behind the guitar and the Hulkster. If you notice, the color scheme's a lot different. That one's a special edition too, man. Mm-hmm. And those are worth, even out of the package like that, over $50 in general. If they were still in the package, you're looking at $500 or more.
Yep.
In pristine condition, of course. All right. Ready?
It's yours.
It's mine.
Yep.
I get the floor. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus a Komodo dragon.
I wasn't ever... I mean, he was talented, but I wasn't ever a huge fan of his.
No, I wasn't either. I mean, and I know that's kind of... Some fans are really about... I just never...
A Komodo dragon is dominant.
So I got to see the build-up to him and Savage in WrestleMania 3 as a child. It was a good build-up. I was really sympathetic to his throat when he got smashed on the railing. When he would come out on Saturday night's main event and he couldn't barely speak. And
now, was that a legit injury or a storyline?
But, you know, the reason... Well, no, it wasn't legit. But the thing is, after he won the Intercontinental title, guess what he did? That was it. He fizzled out. And then Honky Tonk Man took the belt from him. And,
the record until Gunther.
He was just bland.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky was bland.
I got to go Komodo Dragon, man.
I liked Ricky Steamboat better in the 90s when he used to blow the fire. That's when I liked him. He did the whole Bruce Lee gimmick in the 80s. I'm going Komodo Dragon.
Yep.
We got to talk about why. Man, Komodo dragons, they can smell your blood. And they track you. You could be miles away, and they will track you because they can smell your blood. And that's wild. That's the trip.
It's like Animal Planet and wrestling all in one over here.
Well, we got to put over listen, it's not just wrestlers are going to win. That's not going to happen.
British Bulldog versus Matilda. I liked British Bulldog. I felt like he was a secondary character in the Hart Foundation and the Hart family. The Bulldog was awesome. You couldn't not love the Bulldog. As in Matilda.
Okay, so to me, I didn't really care for him until they had Matilda. I mean, just Matilda added to them as a team.
Mhm.
I always thought they were both boring. Like they had good wrestling skills and stuff. You put them on the mic, you had to keep it brief. I mean, when you're a charisma vacuum, it's terrible.
And that's why a lot of wrestlers have managers nowadays.
And Bret Hart was bad on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
But great wrestling skills.
You going Matilda?
I'm going Matilda. Yeah, you go ahead but I'm down with Matilda.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I remember when the Islanders, Haku and Tama, who Tama is related to Roman Reigns, that family, and they stole with Bobby Heenan. That led up to WrestleMania 5, and that was that match because the Islanders turned bad. They stole Matilda. That was a cool angle, by the way. All right, ready? Outback Jack, very short-lived.
Yep.
I wish I would have brought his figure down because I have one of the big LJNs of him, and he has one of the hats, like Australian hats. But he was short-lived character. Outback Jack versus a kangaroo.
Kangaroos are fierce, man.
Dude, they'll tear you up.
Yeah.
They'll jack you up.
I don't know a whole lot about Outback Jack. I know who he is, but man.
He was terrible in the ring. But there's a cool story that one of the Bulldogs, that on his way out, because they were known for this, they pooped in his gear bag. And he went into the airport with human feces in his gear bag. Look it up. It is one of those wrestling stories. Probably true because a lot of them dudes.
Just off of that base alone, I gotta go kangaroo. The fact that they did that.
Man, kangaroo.
So this next one hits a lot of people a little bit different. I'm able to differentiate between the person and the wrestler, but the next one is Chris Benoit versus the Wolverine, or versus a Wolverine. Okay. Chris Benoit's nickname used to be the Rabid Wolverine.
That's right. That's right. I love the art form. Don't really care for the artist, but that's all good.
Chris Benoit was very talented. I feel like Wolverines, kind of like the name, they're very rabid. They're mean. They're small. I gotta go Wolverine in my.
Here's a fun fact. Who would win? Well, it's not even a fact. It's just like a challenge.
Dude, I think
a honey badger versus a Wolverine. Dude, honey badgers.
I think both of them are pretty.
What a fight to the death that would be, man. Okay, yeah.
I gotta go Wolverine.
Yo, me too. Me too.
Okay. And what do we got?
We got Skinner, a.k.a. Steve Kern, and versus a gator, because he used to wear a gator's paw print or foot, whatever, around his neck because he was a Skinner.
I remember that.
He was a Skinner, remember? I liked him. He chewed in the back. He spit on his opponents. I'm going
That's original.
I'm going with
Skinner.
Yeah, me too. Skinner. Cool character.
So
I hope they make a fig for him. I think they already have, but I want to get it.
One of the most original gimmicks and kind of where Ryan got inspiration for Todd the Bod.
Yep, true.
Al Snow. Mm-hmm. He used to have this.
What's that? Todd said he's not a gimmick. He said we are gimmicks.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
Al Snow versus Pepe. He had a little dog, a little chihuahua named Pepe.
Boss man fed it to him.
And there was a storyline where the big boss man fed his dog.
Took him to his hotel room.
Yep.
His hotel. That was so good. And the Attitude Era was so effed up.
That ended up leading to a kennel match from hell.
Yeah. Oh.
And it was one of the worst gimmick matches that there was.
They had like a bunch of Rottweilers, right?
Yep.
And they were urinating on the outside of the ring. Oh man, I wish they would have pooped.
Could you imagine being the wrestlers that had to come in and wrestle the match after that? I mean, I know they cleaned it some, but there's only so much you could do.
Before we go from there, segue. So there's another wrestling story where in WCW, they had a thing where the NWO was going to come out from underneath the ring. And they had a bunch of the NWO members, and Kurt Hennig, a.k.a. Mr. Perfect, was underneath the ring. Before he knew that was his role, so they were going to have to stay underneath the ring for about an hour. He pooped into a bag, tore it just a little bit. He set it along, like right in the middle of the ring. So all the other wrestlers had to smell human feces the whole time while he sat over there and laughed while they were.
Jeez.
How messed up is that? I bet they were ready to get out of the ring and jump in the ring and do it.
So just because I feel sorry for Pepe on that storyline getting fed to somebody,
yeah,
I gotta go Pepe. Even though Al Snow was a badass character.
What does everybody want?
I can go.
Okay. I'm gonna give a little bit of a background story here. Yokozuna wasn't really Japanese. He is actually related to Rikishi. He's related to, what's their name? The Onai family?
Yes.
Yeah. The Wild Samoans, Roman Reigns, The Rock. The Rock is more like the stepchild. I don't know. But let's just say the Usos. That's kind of messed up for me to say. Anyways, Yokozuna, managed by Master Fuji, versus
a panda,
which is
the WWF symbol.
Yeah.
Yokozuna was awesome.
He was good in the ring, but
he shouldn't have been able to do the things that he did.
Short-lived career, but still good.
I think pandas are cool. They're one of my favorite animals too.
Me too, dude. And they're brutal too.
Yep.
You want to go panda?
Sure.
I'm feeling the panda.
Yep. All right. Road Warrior Hawk versus an actual hawk.
Rush. He used to do that all the time.
I gotta go Hawk. Road Warriors.
Yo, I'm a Road Warrior, dude. Yeah, I love the Road Warriors.
Not really a whole lot to say about that, but
yeah. I love the Road Warriors. When I discovered them, that was during the NWA days. They used to have the black shoulder pads with the silver spikes. Oh man, as a little kid, man, when you see that on TV, you're like, dude, those guys are awesome. The Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, versus Lioness. I'm going Big Cat, Ernie Ladd.
Big Cat.
Now, Big Cat, Ernie Ladd is not extremely well known. He is 70s, early 80s. His career, he used to be a football player in NFL. So he was a pretty tough dude, and I think he teetered 7 foot tall. So he had matches with Andre the Giant a lot. So Big Cat, Ernie Ladd.
Big Boss Man versus the German Shepherd. Being bit, or I kind of got a. Big Boss Man was talented in the ring for the most part, but he, as far as on the ring or on the mic, he wasn't great.
No, he was
but that's kind of maybe along the lines of his character.
That's why in the beginning when he first started, Slick was his manager, and the Doctor of Style Slick was such a good mouthpiece. But I loved it when he was tagged up with Akeem, the African Dream. Job so bro. But
I gotta go Boss Man. He did some innovative things.
One of my favorite angles, Big Show's dad's funeral.
Oh man!
And he dragged this.
Yeah.
He dragged in an old police car, dragged Big Show's father's casket all around the grave.
I remember that.
How messed up was that?
It was terrible, but yeah.
Oh, it's almost as bad as the Katie Vick thing. Weirdo.
All right, what do you got next?
All right, we got
Ernest Miller.
Ernest the Cat Miller, WCW, versus the Cheetah. Man.
Ernest was funny. I liked him.
I did too, man.
But cheetahs are cool.
Dude, cheetahs, one of the fastest animals on our freaking planet, man. I'm putting the cheetah over, man. And I ain't talking about Wonder Woman's, even though she was fine. Wonder Woman's enemy. Cheetah?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Andre the Giant versus an elephant. Both of them giant, majestic creatures.
Yes.
Andre the Giant was, there hasn't been another like him. He was a spectacle.
Yeah.
But you also have the African or Asian giant, the elephant, that just stands out. And
like anytime I go to the zoo and I see an elephant, I'm in awe, especially when it has them big old giant. Anyway, so Andre, we have a lot of stories. You can always look them up.
Yep.
Everybody always talks about his drinking stories. I have a better one when I was talking about Andre could not sit on a regular toilet. So in his motel room, he would turn on the shower, he would poop in the tub, and let the hot water disintegrate it while he would go.
Gross.
And he also, before he died, he did a show in Mexico with Bad News Brown, and he did the little sit gimmick in the corner, and he had been drinking Clamatos and stuff like that.
Mm.
You can already know where I'm going with this. Diarrhea.
Yep,
Diarrhea all over.
So, got it.
Because, like, to me, and also because of The Princess Bride, the reason I was never a big fan of Andre the Giant's wrestling.
I could go Andre though.
Yeah.
Princess Bride. And...
He's an iconic character, and that's why. Nothing against elephants, but Andre's a white elephant in the room, right? No, I don't know. Is that fit? Bad joke. Okay, Jake the Snake Roberts versus a boa constrictor could be Damien his snake, but
Jake the Snake. It was such an odd character.
What version did you like more? When he was, because he was a heel and face with the boa, and he was also strictly a heel with the Cobra. Do the Cobra thing with Macho Man on his arm.
I like that.
That's one of my favorite versions. I'm going Jake the Snake straight up.
Yep.
But Jake the Snake, and also I like his real personal story with Diamond Dallas Page and getting out of life's obstacles, which we all have. Yep. We all have life's obstacles, right?
Let's go.
So we're going Jake?
Let's go Jake.
Okay.
Randy Orton versus a Viper. Look, no disrespect to the Snake at all, but this one's got to be one of the easiest ones on here. Randy Orton, just his ability to do his move out of nowhere, like some of the RKOs that he's done.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. I love the Diamond Cutter.
I feel like,
and I love when DDP did it back in the day, but Randy has taken it and he ran with it.
Yep.
But Diamond Dallas Page has helped me so much because that's why I can touch my toes. I could beat my own boyfriend if I wanted to because of Diamond Dallas Page.
All right.
Want to see? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. You don't need to see all that. Dude, you ain't ever seen that. Shut up. Okay, here we go. Alicia Fox versus a Fox. I see a Fox all the time here in Lawrence, and he's got one half of his arm missing.
Yep.
I'm going with a Fox because Alicia Fox, she blows. She's good.
I like Foxes. Foxes are cool.
Yeah, but Alicia Fox, she's terrible. I mean, does anybody really remember a match that Alicia Fox ever did? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Tiger Ali Singh versus a Tiger. I liked Ali Singh, but Tigers are one of up there with the Pandas. They're one of my favorite.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Tiger Ali Singh was like a foreign menace. He was a good heel.
Yep.
All right, we got Shark Boy versus a shark.
Shark Boy was one of the coolest gimmicks.
Oh my god! And when he did the Stone Cold Steve Austin stuff, hilarious. Shell yeah!
I gotta go Shark Boy.
Yeah, me too. I like Shark Boy. He's such a cool character, and he was mostly in TNA.
Yep. A grizzly bear versus the Big Show.
I'm not a big fan of Big Show. So
I'm not. I liked him in WCW, and I liked him when he first got to WWE.
When he was with the Dungeon of Doom, when he was a giant, yeah.
And now it's just
that's sad.
When he first got to WWE, he was great, and then that faded quick, and he's just he had his monster moments a couple times, but then he'd fade off and be some little gimmick character. And I gotta go Grizzly Bear.
My favorite one was when he did the Showster. And he did the Hulk Hogan thing. That was great. Good times. Yeah, we're going with Bear. Okay. All right, we got Lionheart, Chris Jericho, WCW version, versus the Mountain Lion.
Chris Jericho's got a long career.
He does.
And he's been able to reinvent himself while remaining the same.
I'll give Chris Jericho his due here. I think.
Yeah.
Right? And he also, I'm not a big fan of Fozzy, but I do like the theme song. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that the fans sing it and stuff like that, even though a lot of them are spazzes. But anyways. All right, Chris Jericho, right?
Yep. Okay. The Killer Bees versus a Killer Bee.
Ah.
I don't like being stung. It sucks. The Killer Bees were a cool gimmick.
Yeah. Well, because during that time, America was fearing the African killer bees. That was a thing, and it sounds like an inquiring minds want to know.
Yep. Are we going Killer Bees?
I'm going Killer Bees. B. Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. One of the best drop kicks in the game. Randy Orton is a close second, but Jumpin' Jim Brunzell and his drop kick was awesome.
We got next.
Okay. We're going to roll with the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, versus an actual rooster, Cock. Red Rooster is a silly gimmick, which I've seen live at the Expo Center. He took on the Brooklyn Brawler at the Expo Center. I also got to see him face Sam Houston, which is Jake the Snake's legit stepbrother. You know,
I gotta say,
because him and the Gobbledygooker, man.
Yeah, let's go Red Rooster.
What does that end up being?
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. So we're going Red Rooster, Terry Taylor? All right, cool.
Next, we got one that's kind of close to both of our hearts. Ryno, the wrestler, who's one of my favorites, versus an actual rhino, which is one of Ryan's favorite animals.
Yeah, one of my favorite animals.
Where he got his nickname from.
Yeah, well, it's just close to Ryan. I spell it R-Y-N-O. I've been Rhino since I was a little boy, so it's nothing new.
I gotta go the wrestler, man. I feel like if we pass too many...
I'm going to tell you that the reason why I'm going to go with the wrestler, too, I was more of a fan of him in ECW. Now, Ryno was booked at a show called Metro Pro Wrestling in KC, and I got to meet him. And I was talking to him, and one of the other wrestlers told him that my nickname was Ryno. And I had some jokes with him. It was pretty funny. Because so anyways, I don't want to get into that. But when he was in ECW, when he pile drove Sandman's wife, legit wife, she was also a worker, off the apron, through a table, to the concrete, and then said Happy Mother's Day to her.
Oh, jeez.
Yo,
yeah.
That is effed up, and man, but I still remember it. So yeah.
What do we got? We got a couple more left.
Trying to wrap me up?
No.
All right.
You're rolling along.
I grew up on this guy, but JYD, Junkyard Dog, smash them cakes, ow, versus a Doberman Pinscher.
I go Junkyard Dog, man.
Oh,
Dobermans are cool, but
JYD all day, man. Sylvester Ritter. Rest in peace, brother.
Todd's nodding approval. Scotty Flamingo, which is, you said that used to be Raven.
That used to be Raven. His name is Scott Levy.
Versus a Flamingo.
Yeah.
Dude, I think just the idea of a character with the name Flamingo, last name Flamingo.
And he wore a lot of pink. He came out and, he did the whole thing kind of like Rick Rude did. With I'm a ladies' man, I'm better than you, and you know it.
I like that.
Men are jealous, women want me. Rick Rude did the same thing. It was easy to hate, right, as a fan. Coco Beware versus an actual parrot. I mean, I love Frankie, but
I'm big on parrots, man. I've got a couple myself.
A macaw, like macaw style, yeah. Because that's what Frankie was a macaw. Let's go with a parrot.
Okay.
I'm rolling with that. Sorry, Coco Beware.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka versus an actual fly. Flies piss me off. I'm Superfly all day long.
Yeah, especially the little biting ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Superfly.
That's right, Jimmy Snuka, baby.
Okay.
All right. We got Sting versus an actual Emperor Scorpion.
Sting's got one of the longest careers, and he made most of it without even touching WWF.
Both versions right there.
He had a short, 2-year stint in WWE, WWF?
Yeah.
And, but and I feel like they did him wrong.
He was NWA, WCW with me.
Yeah. And I liked his stuff in TNA too.
Yeah, me too. I like the Joker Sting.
Yep.
Thought it was a cool character. So
Okay.
I'm going with Stinger. I like Sting a lot, man. I thought he was a cool character.
The Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Cats.
Oh, Steve Austin.
I gotta go Austin.
Gotta
I like
go
Cats,
Austin.
but okay.
I like Cats too. All right, The Rock versus Raven, and
that's actually a tough one. I like Raven. I liked his little.
If The
gimmick.
Rock was in ECW,
He would have been
eaten alive. So I'm going with, as far as ECW style, I want Raven. Dude.
Let's go Raven.
Look at that. I bet you all thought we was going to go with The Rock, huh? Guess what? It ain't a popularity contest, punk.
All right.
Raven.
We are going the Gobbledygooker versus Matilda. I gotta go Gooker, man. It was such an original thing. It was hilarious.
Love the Gooker.
It was so cheesy, and
yes,
and that's one of the things about wrestling. Like it's 1 minute it's cheesy, 1 minute it's serious, 1 minute makes you cry, and the next minute you're on your feet cheering, and
funny thing,
you're pissed off because someone ended the Undertaker streak.
And that's he's one of the Guerreros.
Yep.
That's who was inside the costume. I remember when Mean Gene said to him, he goes, you got legs like my mother-in-law, pal. So good. All right. Sorry, I'm up here.
Do you want to switch to blue?
You know what? Yeah.
Switch to blue so you don't.
Yep. So I don't get all jacked up. You know what? I'll do this. I know I probably could have just left Raven there, but we're going to do it the way I was intended.
And then after that one, you can switch back to green.
Probably I can go black too, because I'll be okay.
Komodo,
I just don't want to get all this stuff mixed up.
What you got next?
Komodo dragon versus a kangaroo.
Dude, a Komodo would tear up a kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Komodo dragons are like,
they're vicious.
Yeah, and they even have an island that is the Komodo Island.
Yep.
I don't know where that's located though, but they say it's got so many Komodos. Komodo dragon advances.
A Wolverine versus Pepe. Wolverine, man, it's a vicious animal.
Just so you know, we might have to get some more pins. I've freak out, yeah.
You're doing Wolverine, right?
Look at all the colors, man, yeah.
Oh, you're with Wolverine, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm going with that. Okay. All right, let's go. We got Skinner versus a panda.
I gotta go Panda, man. Skinner gimmick was cool and original, but Panda, like I said, is one of my favorite animals.
Panda would work him over, man.
Okay, Hawk from the Road Warriors versus the Big Boss Man. Like I said before, Boss Man barely slipped by the German Shepherd. He's a little dry for me.
Yeah.
I gotta go Hawk.
Yeah. What a rush. Yeah, let's go Hawk.
Okay.
Ernie,
a nice little mix of wrestlers and animals.
Yeah. And it probably didn't go the way that the listeners would think.
Yep.
The big cat, Ernie Ladd versus Cheetah.
I was gonna say I don't know enough about Ernie Ladd.
Yeah. He's not really well known. He wasn't my cup of tea either. But.
Andre versus Orton. I gotta go Orton. Andre is look. There's a difference between someone that's going to entertain you and someone that's going to awe you. Yeah. Andre awed you just because of how big he was.
His presence.
And Orton he does things that no one should be able to do.
Even when Andre was younger, I've watched his matches and I still wasn't that entertained. Sorry. Not sorry. I was more entertained by his side stories, his road stories, Princess Bride, stuff like that. That was more my entertainment. Yep. Okay, so Andre gets RKO'd, huh? Okay, so we'll do Jake the Snake Roberts versus a fox.
I go with Jake.
I think he would DDT the heck out of a fox. Jake.
Foxes are cool, but Jake the Snake, man, it was just such an original gimmick. It was so cool how he'd get the snake out there.
And his DDT, that was an accident. Mm-hmm. His opponent, he had him in a front face lock. His opponent stepped on his foot, went back,
fell backwards.
And the crowd went, oh. So Jake was like, during that time, they were using DDT, rat poison. That was the thing. He read it in the newspaper when he was in a diner on the road. And he goes, that's what the move's going to be called.
Yep.
That's cool stuff. Like that.
A tiger versus a grizzly bear. I gotta go grizzly bear, man. Great
Yeah.
American beast.
Tiger doesn't stand a chance against a grizzly bear, man. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
Shark Boy.
Speaking of grizzly bears,
yeah,
we could have put old MRW
Grizz.
The Grizz.
Yeah. Shout out to Grizz.
Yep.
Shark Boy versus Chris Jericho. I'm going Shark Boy on this one.
Shark Boy's a little more entertaining. Jericho's.
Well, these days it's kind of boring, but.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like both of them, but you know we gotta throw a little bit of some curveballs in.
You know, when Jericho was in ECW, I didn't really care for him there either. He just didn't fit into it. I don't know.
I feel like honestly, he would fit better in current day TNA than AEW. I just don't like his work so far in AEW. I'm not a huge AEW fan to begin with.
I do like his finisher though, the Judas Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Love that finisher because that's something that. I mean, it's just a sniper move. I like sniper moves. I've always liked sniper moves.
So, Killer Bees versus the wrestler Ryno. I gotta go Ryno.
I think
his extreme
yeah
moves and
Ryno. Yeah,
he was just hardcore.
Yeah, the rookie monster.
Yep.
ECW. That's what they called him. Okay, the Red Rooster versus JYD.
Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
Scotty Flamingo versus Superfly Jimmy Snuka. I can go
Superfly. Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Yep. Okay. And your last one for this round.
A Parrot versus the Stinger.
I go Sting, man.
Man, Steve.
Sting.
There you go, Steve Borden.
Sting still wrestles like he's got it. I mean, no, he's aging. I know he's feeling it, but he's still.
This ain't going to be popular with the AEW marks. I'm surprised that none of them have heard him yet. Because, man, I've watched some of the work over there, and some of them people, man, they just don't. I don't know, man.
Okay.
But Sting can handle it.
This
Respect
next
to him.
one.
He's in his 60s, man, and he's still going. That's wild.
Austin versus Gooker. I gotta go Austin. He's
yeah, man.
And that's tough just because
it's a good run for the Gooker though.
Just because Gooker is such a cool, unusual gimmick.
Okay. So we got quote the Raven Nevermore. Oh wait a minute, that's not Edgar Allan Poe. Shout out to Edgar Allan Poe. Keep up the good work. We're going green now. Yeah, that's right. Oh, thanks. Yeah, honestly, the blue was running out too. I did not. The pen is blue. I didn't mean for it to rhyme. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So, Raven versus a Komodo dragon.
I gotta go Raven, man. Raven was such a cool.
Yes.
I liked him.
I think he would do the even flow Komodo dragon. Even, and plus we met him. Yep. So that's cool.
Hey, Raven. You had to be there at a CSW MRW show.
It was ridiculous.
Wolverine versus Hawk. A Wolverine versus Hawk. I gotta go Wolverine.
Yeah, me too.
I like Hawk, but man, Wolverines are such a fierce, compact little.
Stone Cold versus the Wolverine. Oh my. Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna do the Panda versus a cheetah.
I go Panda again.
Yeah, me too. Cheetah don't stand a chance. It may be able to run from a panda, but a panda would peel a cheetah just like it does bamboo.
Randy Orton versus a grizzly bear. The grizzly's getting an RKO, man.
Oh yeah, straight up. I could see that being a thing. He RKOs Christmas trees when people fall off skateboards. And, you know, come on, I can just go on and on and on. And now a grizzly bear. All right. Kind of lost my place here. All right, here we go. Jake the Snake Roberts versus Shark Boy.
I go Jake.
You
if
know
you feel
what?
Like we need to flip it, then
it's the. I'm looking at from an entertainment standpoint, Shark Boy all day long. But it's from an entertainment standpoint and a working psychological standpoint, Jake the Snake. So Jake the Snake, and he has better road stories, Jake the Snake Roberts. Okay? Going with that?
Yep. Final one on my side for this round, Ryno versus Snuka. Snuka was the first one to really do a lot of those jumps off the cage and stuff like that. I feel like...
Who's more remembered, Jimmy Superfly Snuka?
I feel like modern day era, Ryno. I feel like overall in wrestling, Snuka. So,
yeah,
Snuka's mine.
Yeah. I mean, I like what Ryno did with, what's his name? Oh, yeah, he ain't gonna like that. Heath Ledger.
Yep.
Not Heath Ledger.
No. Sorry. Heath,
oh, man. Terrible.
I don't know. He just went by Heath, I thought.
Oh, no, I forget.
Yeah. I'm blanking. I feel bad, man.
Whatever. Okay.
All right.
We're going to do JYD. Now you guys can't see me do my legs like JYD. Versus the Stinger. Man, dude.
I got to go Junkyard, man. Junkyard was fun.
I love JYD, man. And he could work, and he was, if you've never seen his Mid-South stuff, man, so good.
All right, we get into our last 8. Austin versus a Wolverine. Austin's good.
I'm picking a Wolverine, dude.
But Wolverines are so... I mean, both of them are so unpredictable.
Oh, man. I mean,
man, I feel like we got to flip this.
Yeah, we got to flip it.
We need a coin for this. Okay, so...
It's all right, that works, too.
Okay, Austin.
Going Austin.
Should we go 1 of 3?
No.
Let's do here.
Well, it's A again. Okay. 2 out of 3 falls, right?
Yep.
Straight 2 falls.
I just didn't feel like that.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right.
I don't need to do the voice every time, right? Okay, man.
You're up there.
You're a little over the top, Ryan. Oh, yeah, up here. So we'll go Raven versus Panda. I'm rolling with Panda.
I gotta go Panda too. I think it's cool. That's one of my favorites. Like I've said, I'm sure.
And they look so cuddly, but they would rip you apart.
Oh man, hug them. You see those videos where people are playing with baby pandas and feeding them bottles and stuff? It's like I want baby pandas.
Even a baby panda would rip you apart. Us humans ain't nothing compared to them.
Orton versus Snuka. As soon as Snuka gets off that cage, Orton's hitting him with the RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah. Orton's going to be laying down, right? Snuka's up there. He does this. That's what he was known for. I know I'm holding this, but he does like that, right? He doesn't do like what Hogan. Rip him, brother. But he comes up. He does that. Orton jumps up, hits him with the RKO. Randy Orton.
Jake the Snake.
Roberts versus JYD, Junkyard Dog. I'm going with Jake the Snake.
Yep, Jake.
Nothing against JYD, but he had a just a short-lived career.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know, it's sad. But anyway. But it's iconic. But Jake is more relevant today than he was even back then. It's wild.
So we're down to our last 4. Austin, Orton, Jake the Snake, and a Panda. So, man. Austin versus Orton. I feel like, so the stunner was something cool. It was
but
kind of.
You got to kick first to get it.
You got to kick first to get it, whereas Orton can just hit that RKO out of nowhere.
Austin never hit it out from nowhere.
No.
Right?
No, he always had to do the kick first.
Randy Orton, I loved his dad too with Roddy Piper. Ace Cowboy Bob Orton, shout out.
And I feel like Austin's moveset, he had a limited moveset as he got older. When he was stunning Steve and had with the Hollywood Blondes and all that, I felt like he could move around a lot more.
I've seen both versions live. Yeah.
And then once he became Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff like that, he just basically.
Sorry, what did you say? Austin said, or no, sorry, my bad. Todd says that the only reason why he would go with Austin is because he drinks beer, because he's an alcoholic. Yeah. So, but the thing is, it's not up to you.
So, I got to go Orton, man.
I'm going Randy Orton too.
Okay.
Okay. Jake the Snake Roberts, I'll start from the bottom, against the panda, which is the face of the World Wildlife Foundation.
Look, Jake is iconic. And we've said that over and over.
The panda's real iconic.
But dude, pandas, I mean, that's...
Here's the thing. Yeah. You know, the cool thing is, and we're going with panda?
Yep.
Here's the thing with what we're doing here. Randy Orton, the finals here.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, the main event, if you will, was in the WWF for a very short time. That was early in his career, and he's mostly done most of it in the WWE. So he fits into all of these letters.
Yep.
All right.
So let's think about this. Pandas are huge. They can be aggressive.
Yeah.
Orton's talented, and he's one of the best wrestlers there ever has been.
Yeah.
What
if Orton hit an RKO on the panda while it's peeling and eating some bamboo, and the bamboo shoves back in the throat and chokes the panda, and that's how he wins?
That's
a good finish, right?
I mean, that's the only way I think Orton wins. I think a panda would just catch him in a bear hug.
More gagging, less nagging.
I think the panda would. Man, I think if the panda's paying attention, I don't think he can get that RKO on him. I mean,
true that. I mean, well, guess what?
I gotta say, when Orton's not paying attention, this panda right here is coming up with that chair and smacking him over the head. True. And then beat him. Maybe that's a bamboo chair. We need to flip it. We need to flip it. That's a tough one.
Let's talk to the Magic 8 Ball and find out.
All right. Well,
ask it.
Magic 8 Ball?
Yeah, Magic 8 Ball. It's the same color as a panda.
It's yes or no.
I know. So what?
All right. We're going to ask it if... Oh, sorry, Hogan.
Oh.
Would a panda...
Oh, wait, hold on. Finger point of doom. 1, 2, 3. I win. Champion.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, where's the sound?
Which one? There we go. Woo!
It's like a golf clap.
Okay. Magic 8 Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Would a panda beat Randy Orton? Don't count on it. Orton is our winner.
Oh, my. Well, I'm putting... What does he say? What is this thing?
RKO.
The 3 most deadliest letters...
All right.
In the WWE.
So, with that being said, this kind of wraps up our Squirrale Royale episode. Ryan, what do you got to say?
What do I got to say? Well, let me tell you something, brother. Blah.